Oh, okay.
Okay.
Fuck.
What's up?
Okay, I think we should be live now, and we should be directly linked to the event that Adam linked up to before.
That's good.
Yes, we are
I
live.
think so. Yeah, sick. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
sick. We did
Wicked.
We
try
did it.
turning it off and on again. Sick.
We did
guys,
it.
I'm so glad I could help.
Okay, cool. No, go back. Don't do that. All right, sick. Everybody can sick. That was
Bro's
that
been
was
stressing for the last
yeah, that
9
was
minutes.
insane amount of stress. Okay, cool. All right, well, thank you everyone for your patience. In that was hell. Anyway, welcome. This is our first ever live stream. If you couldn't tell, thank you for coming along. Today we'll be discussing the lists that we picked out for Blood Rites 2023. But first, what is Blood Rites? Adam, our special guest on the show. You are the TO for Blood Rites. Do you want to give us a little description as to what the event is and what it will entail?
Yeah, sure. So for those of you that don't know, I run pretty much the vast majority of tournaments in Sydney or New South Wales in general. I'm getting a little bit tired doing it by myself, so I enlisted my frenemy, Liam, who is amazing with all of the merch side of things and the branding side of things to help me out. So we're running it at Padstow RSL, which is the same place that Sydney Slaughter is run at. We're hoping to make this not just an annual thing, but also a biannual thing with also a teams tournament in March that we're currently working out as well. So yeah, we've got about, well, it was originally like high 60s amount of people, but it's probably dropped off this week to about like mid 50s, which is pretty standard. And there's a whole host mix of players and that are all coming from all different types of factions, which is actually a good mix, quite a healthy mix, which I'm really excited to see how it goes.
Especially the death mix. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot less death than Sydney GT, which makes me very happy. There's a lot more elves as well.
Definitely.
It's almost as if people are trying to suck up to me for prizes.
What? No. I would never. Alright, cool. So yeah, I think obviously Liam and Adam were very busy getting everything ready, so shout out to them. And we thought we'd help out by doing a list review. Adam, you reached out to us and asked for help, and we're very grateful for the opportunity. So we hope you do you guys proud. Anyway, we thought we'd go through and obviously not reviewing what 58 lists there was on such short notice. Didn't really want to do all that. We basically each picked a Grand Alliance and then chose what we think will be like a 5-0 list, and then what we think will be a fun to play, fun to go up against list. So sadly, not everybody will be featured with their lists on, but I'm sure we can do something later on to showcase everyone's lists in maybe like a little PDF file. But all in all, there were some great lists out there. But yeah, we just on such short notice. I know I'm heading up to Sydney or heading down to Sydney literally tomorrow, so I don't really have. Sorry, don't have all that time. And also 58 lists. No, thank you. Would be here for literally 4 hours going through it all.
I'd have to go and set up the
Just,
tournament.
Yeah. By the time it gets to tournament, we'd still be just going through the destruction. Because we know how Kyle likes to ramble when it comes to death.
Yeah.
All right, but anyway, we'll get straight.
I was gonna fill up 90% of the word.
We'll get straight into it. And I think we start off with Grand Alliance Chaos. And Josh, you had Grand Alliance Chaos.
Me. I do have Grand Alliance Chaos.
Going through all of them, any before we get into the two you've picked, any honorable mentions, any things you want to shout out?
I did definitely have two for the 5-0 that I was tossing between. I haven't versed either of them, surprisingly, but both of them seem to be very well made lists. A lot of slaves compared to the rest of them. But no, sorry, a lot of corn compared to the rest of them, which I'm upset of because I'm a slaves fanboy at heart. But corn definitely seems a bit stronger in this current meta. Other than that, I don't really have too many thoughts. Looks like a great little assortment of lists, and yeah. So my coolest list. What are we going off first? What are we starting with?
Favorite list. Yeah, fun list. I think it was first.
Favorite list was Josh Foster's All Herd list, which it's the only beast of chaos list in the chaos lists. God, I'm awkward here. But just looking at it, it looks like 3 very fun little parts in a single list. So I think I've got it here. So you've got a Bulgor with 6 Bulgors and a Beast Lord, I think. Who am I talking about?
A Doom Bull.
Doom Bull, that's the one. Jeez.
So
I
Beast
really
Lord,
just
Doom Bull
went down
General with
this.
Beastial Cunning, the Slitherrack Helm, Pouch and Null Dust, 6 Bulgors, 10 Gors, 10 Gors, and then 12 plus 6 Zangor Enlighten, and then a Kron Spine.
Yeah. So you've got your 3 major threats. You've got your Doom Bull with your 6 Bulgors, 18 Zangor Enlightened. It's 3 units of 6, and then a Kron Spine. It just seems like 3 big targets, well, not targets, but hammers that all have access to a board-wide deep strike. They all have fun little things they can do, especially with the 6 Bulgors and the Doom Bull charge, deep striking in within 7 inches because of the
Bestial Cunning.
Bestial Cunning, yeah. Deep striking in within 7 inches and then charging in the opponent's combat phase, I'm pretty sure it is. And then on a 2-up, making whatever he charged into fight last, so that if you charge anything else, you don't have to worry about someone hitting the Bulgors back. I've seen Heath do it. It's pretty ouchy. 18 Zangor Enlightened, they're just so cheap. So 6 Zangor Enlightened is only 180 points. And so 18 of that is just so much damage, and you with Beast of Chaos, you kind of make up for the movement with the deep strike in a way. So you have a more reliable way of getting into combat. You still have to make a 9-inch charge, but that's kind of with every kind of deep strikey list. And then the Kron Spine was it just seems like something you throw in there and then it just takes care of the rest of everything else the list is missing. Not a heap of shooting, but it just looks like a lot of fun, a lot of threats. And so I just thought that'd be the coolest one to deal with. Does anyone else have any opinions on that?
I mean, like exactly what you were saying before. The board presence that Beast of Chaos can put out is just kind of crazy, because you can deep strike like half your army on one side and half your army on the other side, and threaten all sides, or you can just push in from one side and really threaten a flank. I think the options that you get from like both the deep strike and just charging and getting all you guys into combat will be interesting. Gauze are just great to have on objectives, and looking forward to seeing what those Zangor and Lighten do.
Yeah. I weirdly think, I mean, Liam can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Liam sent me a photo of this person's crossbine. And it's not just a regular mini, it's just a full-blown conversion, which looks super nuts as well. Mm-hmm. Me speaking on anything that's non-elf, so take it as a grain of salt, but I think it's pretty good. Like, the only thing that Beast of Chaos tend to miss is like some form of like a bit of staying power. So like the Zangor and Light are just a pain in the butt to deal with, as well as the Kron Spine help make up for that. And most people like now on their list pretty much have like 1 to 2 screens in order to screen out, like, Iron Jewel just beelining it in a straight line at you. But when you deploy all off the board and you're just like, okay, turn 2, I'm going to jump on where it suits me, it makes it a lot harder to screen that out while still starting to cap some points as well. So definitely a lot of moving parts on this list as well, which kind of also makes it a bit hard to Bellacore, which is quite nice.
Also, I think, I don't know if anyone mentioned it, with All Herd, he can bring back, I think it's D3+3 Gauze.
Yeah, I think it's D3+3 on those Gauze, but I don't know if it, I don't think it goes on anything other than the 2 Gauze he's got his battle on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think it's like Gore, Ungore, and yeah.
Soul Render. It's like
Anyway.
a Soul Render.
Everything can be tied back to Iron Man.
But yeah, it looks good. Definitely going to be somewhat fun to pilot. It's going to be a lot of pressure though.
It's a lot of mind games with your opponent, I think, because when everything's off the board, you have no idea where he's going to go, and you kind of have to plan for everything. And with that Cronspine, you just have to fear it. Like it's there's a reason it's been decently good ever since it came out, and it's because it is good.
Yeah.
All right, on to your 5-0 pick. 5-5-0. It was just good pick.
Yeah.
Before I want to put a disclaimer because we're not that great, so it might go 5-0, it might not go 5-0, but we just thought
I just chose the list that I know the player, I know how it plays, and I know how well it goes, and it's got to be Jacob Mears' Corn. Because in Chaos, the army that I think is going to go best in Chaos is Corn. I'm looking at the so I forgot. And I've seen Jacob play. He's very good at playing Corn, and he plays a very controlling play style that lets him score as many points as he can, while the opponent doesn't score nearly as many and doesn't get to play the game all that much. So the list is a Bloodthirster and Unfettered Fury as the general, with Firebrand, Halo of Blood, Bloodbind, and Witchbane Curse. He's got two Slaughter Priests, two Bloodmasters, and Scarbrand. There is a lot of writing in this list, lots of prayers, lots of weapons, and lots of artifacts. The Bloodmaster has the King of Blades, which I was under the impression you put onto the Bloodthirster, but he's obviously got plans. And then Scarbrand is in there just as a bit of a cruise missile that kind of kills whatever it goes into. Blood Reavers, 3 units of Fleshhounds, another unit of Blood Reavers, 2 units of Claws of Karanak, and then finishing off with the Hexgorger Skulls and a Skull Altar, obviously. He's very good at playing this list. He knows how it works. He can use Karanak and summoning Fleshhounds to screen out your opponent in your turn, and then in the opponent's turn using was it Bloodlust?
Murderlust.
Murderlust. To pin whatever you don't want moving down. And like, as long as you have Karanak there and Blood Tithe to summon, or Blood Tithe to Murderlust, you've got that. And he's very good at using that. The 2 Bloodthirsters, Scarbrand and what one was it? The Unfettered Fury, are just his big damage dealers in the list. And with the amount of MSU he's got in the list, I can see him being able to generate quite a few Blood Tithe. I meant to say Depravity. Blood Tithe.
Slanesh on the brain.
No, Slanesh got put in the bin the second I burst Steam Taste.
Yes,
Slanesh. My brain.
We're bashing Slanesh already. I told you, Alex. I told you, Alex.
No, I love Slanesh. With so many Bloodthirsters and then so many Fleshhounds, he's got a heap of movement. And as I was saying, he's got great Blood Tide generation, even in a vacuum. Like, if he goes up against the Gargants, he'll 100% struggle more than if he went up against something else with MSU, but he'll still be able to generate that Blood Tithe. And he's just really good at screening and being able to score points on his terms and then deny your opponent from scoring points.
I know definitely, like us loaded dice boys like to go to Maitland a couple times, and I've fought this list twice. I just had nothing for it. He pinned my Sharks. If I tried to screen, there was a Scarbrand that could just across the board. It is a great list. it's off. I think it is off meta as well with the Karanak pick, which is what makes it such a surprise to go up against. And Jacob's just a one hell of a pilot with it. Even
Yeah,
like
he knows how to play the list.
watching him play in like the one days, it's always first game max points, second game max points, third game, oh, he was 1 point off max points. Like, yeah, it is.
Mm.
It is good. Any other
Definitely.
thoughts, Kyle, Adam?
I'll let
Um,
Adam go first.
Look, if I'm honest, don't know much about Corn. However, I know that because I played a similar list kind of with Gary a few weeks ago, and he was running something similar. And Corn just has a lot of moving parts. It's kind of like the Sylvaneth of Chaos. As the game just for itself. In that it's not fully combat, but
Had to bring it
you've got a
straight
lot
back
of
to
screens
Elder
there.
Summoner.
You're going to use your blood type not to summon crap on, but to deny people stuff. So he's going to be able to, with Corn, like max score, but then also like deny like
Mm.
points from people really hard as well, like quite easily. And it'll catch some people off guard as well if you don't know all their tech. And there's a lot there. I'd hate to be playing against Corn in like a round 3 or a round 5 where like the brain's
Yeah,
going to be working at
yeah.
like max
Oh.
capacity. But yeah, no, I see this doing really well. Like either lean into magic really hard or just ignore it altogether. And Corn being the anti-magic kind of fits in its own bubble of being its own meta in the current meta. So yeah.
Kyle, thoughts?
I have lots of thoughts, but I'll condense them down. I think this is both the list and Jacob is really good at switching up in the moment. He really knows he plays super defensively and then on a dime switches on the aggressive and you can really feel that there. And so especially because when I've played him, I've felt that like in the last like 2 turns, rounds, round 4, round 5, he's got so many tools to disrupt you in those rounds, and he's like, even if you're both getting max points up until round 4, round 5, he really knows how to use his tools to disrupt you and still get his like own points. So as Josh was saying, he's great at scoring max points, but not only that, like round 4, round 5, you'll see a dime switch, and you'll be like, oh, I scored 1 point for the primary, which is just like incredible to see how he does it all the time. But yeah, it's definitely a good list. I love Karanak. I love all the flesh hounds in there. And one more thought. It's not only good at rushing you, but it can also sit back and chip you down. So it's he's really putting on the opponent how to make the first move, and then he's really good at clapping back. But I think those are my main thoughts. It's always fun to see Jacob play this list, and yeah, hopefully he has fun.
All right, cool. Okay.
We do love talking up Jacob.
Yeah, a couple comments in the chat. Bob says, good pick.
Thanks, Bob.
I don't know who Killing McGee 23 is, but he says, messing with your opponent sounds right up Galley's alley, alright?
Positive only.
And then Brandon's in the chat, Kyle. He says, condense those thoughts, Kyle.
I don't know if it's possible.
Man
Hear him
is just
talk
a
about
well
any
of
topic at
knowledge.
home.
Alright, on to the next one. It was... Oh no, spoilers. Grand Alliance death.
Oh, what an old
Alright, Kyle, this was you because, infinite well of knowledge, and you channeled it all into Soulblight. You have, 6 or 7 Soulblight lists to pick from, and then 2 Null Myriad, and a Night Haunt. Scarlet Doom, which I thought was good. It's 30 blade guys. It was fun.
Yeah, I really like that one. I was this close. I was gonna say, like, first up, my honorable mention was definitely gonna be the Nighthawk.
No, yeah.
Not only like was it 30 blade guys, but he also like just picked 2 warlords, and so he's got like max heroes. He's got like 30 blade guys.
I think there was a black coach in there as well.
Yeah, it's
What,
correct.
is this Scott? Is Scott?
Yeah, so I'm definitely shouting out Nighthawk, but Soulblight is close to my heart, and my favorite list, it just
Jordan
contains Black Knights. I love Black Knights so much. I think I've made like 10 different lists, and like 6 of them all have like at least 20 Black Knights. And it's just so much fun seeing Soulblight. I at first was thinking Soulblight is my thing. No one else should be able to play Soulblight. But my new thought is we are expanding the Grave Empire.
Sorry, you realise Bob Van Embrick exists, right? Like,
Hey, Bob.
It's my thing.
He's in this chat.
Oh, I just have to go quickly grab my best death that I only won because Bob plays in the top 3.
Bob went too good to get best death.
But no, I think everyone should play Soulblight. I reckon there should be no other factions in the game, only Soulblight.
this man not knowing elves exist.
The best kind of elf is a dead elf, Soulblight.
Adam's about to leave. Saying things like that. His skin just got itchy.
He's our trusted guest, and Kyle's like, yeah, I hope your army dies, bro.
Hey, at least he's still including them.
But now to actually talk about the list.
The 5-0 list.
Which is...
James Halligan.
No.
No.
What?
Oh,
Never mind.
I want to talk about the Black Knights. Look at this.
I wasn't enjoying that first.
Now
Keep
to talk
talking.
about now to talk about the
There
list.
are 2
Yeah, there was another
White
list I
Kings.
picked, but it's okay.
There were 2 White Kings on Skeletal Steed. The minimum you should take. That's all I'm saying. The minimum amount of the White Kings on Skeletal Steed is 2. Because you're always taking at least 2 units of Black Knights, is all I'm going to say. Except I also think that putting that in the core of Neferata and a Vampire Lord, just the actual, like, the charge damage of the Black Knights is so good. But then if people charge you and you don't get that charge damage, they're going to be charging into a Neferata and also into a Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon. And the movement on this, like in this army, is incredible. Black Knights having 12-inch movement. I think it's some movement. It's good movement. It's not typical. Let me just. I think I might even be underselling Black Knights.
Yeah, sorry, Brendan, we have done cows.
No,
There was no Skaven.
I was base selling it. They're 12-inch movement. So that means with Neferata, who's 16-inch movement, with Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon, who's 14-inch movement, you're getting to where you need to be in 2 turns or less. And with the Deep Strike, with the Black Knights coming back after they die, it's a great list. And then I'll leave the thoughts to everybody else if I haven't already said literally everything.
I've had too much lifted by Black Knight's charge.
Yeah, it's just Black Knights. All I know
Shout
is...
out to Keith.
Yeah, I was about to say, Keith in your game at Bathurst where you're just like, yeah, so I lifted Avlanor with Black Knights or something like that. Like, on the charge.
Opie's 15 mortal wounds, plus Spirit Gale when that was a fair and balanced spell. Also, bring back Spirit Gale.
Bring back Spirit Gale.
No.
Good old
I agree with
boys.
you there, Adam. That was
It was good old
nasty.
boys.
It was nasty. Adam, any thoughts on Kyle's love child of 25 Black Knights?
I went up against a similar list, but maybe with one less White King on like Steed at Slaughter, and this kicked my ass because of how aggressive it can be. It's just such a strong list, and you can screen with a 10. Like, yes, you've only got like 10 skeletons to screen. You just screen with 10 Black Knights if you need it. Like, it doesn't matter. They're so cheap.
I screamed with
Dangerously cheap.
Someone just lets you scream with anything.
Yeah. So no, a great list.
All right. Now, I wonder who the 5-0 pick was. It wasn't released before. James Halligan and
Now,
his Legion of Night.
this is another bit of my my little bit of a bias here. I have played every sub-faction except for Avangori. That's your boy over there. Josh is the Avangori guy. I also haven't really dabbled too much in Castelli, but I tried Legion of Blood, and then I went over to Viacos, and then I tried Legion of Night. And oh man, the feeling that you get when you teleport Manfred into someone's front line so he can do like 20 mortal wounds with his what is it? The spell is called Death Wind, which is an AoE spell, which you pick a unit within 18 inches, and you can every unit within 6 inches of that unit, including the unit, takes D3 mortal wounds on a 3+. And the amount of times I've teleported him up with the Legion of Night teleport heroic action.
An amazing heroic action.
So good. And then just teleported him back out again. And the look on my opponent's face is priceless. Shout out to Heath this time. Heath has played my Legion of Night list a couple of times. And I would go into his Ogre Cannons, do a bunch of mortal wounds to everything. And then as he's like, I'm ready to shoot you back, I get Manfred over the other corner of the board and leave him there. And then he can shoot my skeletons, he can shoot my zombies. Manfred's coming back next turn to do it again, baby.
Okay, so that's one model in this list.
yeah, that took him like 5 minutes. Yeah, we're gonna be here a while. Let's go get popcorn or something.
I got one model. I'll keep paying.
But I think this list has lots of good tech, and it's a very balanced list. There was lots of Soulblight lists to choose from that had positives and negatives. But I picked James's because it's very balanced, and I like all the pieces that go into it. And I think Legion of Night is possibly the best sub-faction in Soulblight. That's just my opinion. It might be right. It might be wrong.
Ridiculous heroic action.
Ridiculous. But what I found interesting was quite often I found Death Rattle Skeletons in like fully maxed out with a unit of 30 of them. There was like 3 or 4 lists that were running the same like big unit of Death Rattle Skeletons. Like this list just has like even more. I love Direwolves because of some of the sneaky tech that you've got with Direwolves. The fact that you can move block turn 1 with like a what was it like? What did I say? 20.
That's why I don't like playing against Kyle.
Like a 22-inch. You just run them up and they pile in 22 inches. Incredible.
There's a big pile in there.
And then I love the Asagurian True Blades. I think that in Legion of Night, the fact that you can control even your opponent's combat phases is incredible because if you can make someone fight last in their combat phase, and even if they don't charge the True Blades, you can just have the True Blades charge them if they're in the right position. So if James is going up against a like a heavy combat army, it'll be really interesting to see like how the combat army tackles it, because if everything is fighting beforehand, if Manfred is stopping charges by doing his redeploy trick, and then with all the debuffs from waste away, it'll be interesting. Oh, and of course, Merciless Blizzard, just to have in the back line as a little like gun, waiting for someone to come and charge into the back line. Which again, shout out Heath, who lost a whole mammoth to Merciless Blizzard. He will not be missed because he's part of death now. It just is what it is. Everything is death. I think where we as a Soulblight faction and community should embrace all other factions in glorious combat so that everybody dies and they all return to Nagash, as it should be, especially elves. But I will leave it there because I have said lots.
Oh, all right. Anyone else got any thoughts on the list that Kyle hasn't said yet? Any...
I don't know if there is a single word he didn't say during that.
You're welcome.
Love James. He's my barbecue baron. He's done many barbecues at my tournaments. He's currently painting up Manfred now. Messaging him, so keep painting and cramming. No, he's a great player, and it's been amazing to watch him go from playing something like Ogres to something as like complicated as Soulblight as well. And like a lot of what I've been kind of leaning into in my strength at the moment in AOS is like veering and like kind of leaning into units that kind of are getting missed by point hikes as well. So like the 30 block of Death Rattle Skeletons is definitely something that's being slept on, and takes a lot to knock that out. So yeah, no, it looks like a great list. I'm keen to see how it goes.
Bob with the actual Soulblight player. Sorry, Kyle. Bob mentioning that 30 blocks are nearly unkillable. So interesting to see who's. But, all right, I think that's it. Josh, do you have any thoughts on that death list, or Kyle said it all?
Not enough Terrorgeists. No, sorry. Manfred teleporting in every hero phase is such a good. Actually, any of the heroes teleporting in each hero phase, it just completely negates any risk to putting them out anywhere in your turn, as long as you didn't want to do another heroic action. Graveguard killed lots of stuff. True Blades were annoying to play against because I like playing with monsters, and Kyle obviously doesn't like versing them. But yeah, I don't have too much to say because I just don't know anything that isn't Avangori, but it looks pretty solid, and if Kyle likes it, it's probably pretty solid.
Okay, on to the next one, which was Grand Alliance Destruction. This was the one that I had, and I'm not a destruction player.
You played it? I was going to say.
Yeah, Ray loves destruction.
I was on Wahapedia all of today being like, what do these things do? And then just being like, something that'll go 5-0 with all this jank. Honorable mentions, I think I did enjoy that there's one Bone Splitters list. However, it did need more big stabbers. I was very upset that there wasn't a single big stabber. There was 2 Wurgog Prophets, so I was happy at that. I think there was also Ogres with 3 Mammoths. I think there was a Huskard on Stonehorn, Frostlord on Stonehorn, and then a Huskard on Thundertusk. Pretty good. I'm surprised we didn't get any of the new sub-faction that came out of the Army of Renown. With
Gorgeous.
Yeah, but I can understand if people don't have the time to paint it up. It's very fair. And yeah, I think there was one big wild list as well. Recently, yeah. I think they were around the
Yeah.
same time as like Belthanos and all that.
Mm.
Oh, and 2 Cruel Boys. How good?
Yeah.
2 Cruel Boys. I gotta give them an honorable mention because yeah, that was interesting to see. But I'll go into my fun list. Was Rory Doyle. He was running Iron Suns with Kragnos, Auric Megaboss with the command trait Megabossy and Destroyer, a weird Knob Shaman with the teleport spell, and then 2 War Chanters, one with an Arcane Tome and Fix and Beat, and one with the Killer Beat, and then 5 Brutes, 5 Brutes, 5 Brutes, and 6 Gore Grunters. The reason that I like this one is because he's running Iron Suns, so for a CP in your charge phase, he can charge you. With Kragnos, he's doing a 3d6 charge. I'm not really sure how the brutes and stuff go in combat, but I just thought that was great. He can position well with the teleport. The War, he's just got to have either his general or a battle line unit in your territory. Orcs want to be in your territory anyway. That's where you are. Um, yeah, I don't know. I looked at it, I read this stuff, and I just thought it's gonna be a fun time. You're gonna get within 18 inches of you, and he's gonna get his tape measure out. Measure. It could be an 18-inch charge. He's still gonna do it, and it's just gonna put pressure. He's gonna roll that 18-inch charge, and you're gonna have brutes in your face when you wanted to charge Kragnos or you wanted to charge something else. It's just gonna be fun. It's as simple as that. Um,
Am
that
I
was
mistaken in thinking that brutes are the ones that shut down models with the wounds characteristic 1 or 2? Or is that another unit?
I'm not sure. I
Brutes are the ones where if it's a 1 wound model, they like the enemy unit doesn't count as contesting objective. Yeah.
That's even
I know
better.
my
Oh my
destruction.
god.
Well, not an elf.
So
Emeralds.
he's gonna be able to charge you on an objective, and then you're not gonna get an objective if you have 1 wound models. That's
Yeah.
great.
Boobies. Boobies.
And then they're still brutes, so they're just gonna hurt. And I think the
Yeah.
Iron Suns War, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think the Iron Suns War is a 4-up ward. Or I might be getting that wrong. But they've also got their War in there as well, which will do some fun stuff.
Which will do something.
Yeah, oh, look, man, I went through a lot of destruction today while also painting sharks, so it was just like this is good, oh, this is good, this sucks, like, back and forward. I'd never painting a shark again. But yeah. If anyone else has any thoughts on the list, as my terrible description of it.
6 Gore Grunters has to kill whatever they're going to, surely. On the charge, obviously.
Yeah.
I think orcs just be eaten good.
War is +1 to charge and rend for Iron Suns. So
Yeah, so you're playing for the rend. But look, it's a fun list. It's a very fun list. Like, because you've got Kragnos there. Like, anything with Kragnos and like something big, you're just going to go around and
It
stomp.
just
Like,
becomes fun.
I would
yeah.
love to be drinking. This is a smart list if you want to drink.
Mm.
Like, you've got something to smashy. The Kragnos charging back 3d6 is quite handy. Don't know how well it's going to go, but it's definitely super fun. Like, there's a lot of like really fun components of it. So
yeah, if your opponent's being slow, just charge them in their charge phase.
You just like
You
boom, straight line. Let's go.
You got a bar to be at that's serving drinks. Like,
You're like, I don't need a terrain map. So straight line. Let's go.
Terrain?
Alright.
Terrain.
I don't care about that.
Alright, cool. Any other thoughts, or I'll move on to my 5-0 pick.
No,
Oh,
let's go
oh,
to 5-0 pick.
Sick.
I don't know a whole heap on
Yeah.
on Jaws.
This
I've versed them once, I think.
Alright, my 5-0 pick was Bradway's Gloomspike Gits, and I really, really like this list as it has just a lot of tech. Like, so first he's got the Dankhold Trog boss with the command trait Alpha Trog, so it's got two extra wounds. It also has the Glowy Howset, which is a 4-up ward, and then if it suffers a wound, like it actually suffers a wound on a 1, the artifact just goes away. So, if he rolls a 1, then it's gone, but it's still a Trog boss with 2 extra wounds and a 4-up ward, and I think an inbuilt 5-up or 6-up ward. when the artifact goes away. He's got Gringrat, which can pick a Moon Clan unit within 3, and that Moon Clan unit fights on death. He's got Scragrot the Loon King, amazing piece of being able to stop the moon in the middle of the board, amazing spell, just a good wizard. I've had Scragrot unbind so many of my spells every time I've fought him. He is just a amazing piece. Squig Boss with Nash's Squig, also a great pick as it can do 3 things for a Squig Herd unit. It can either make them 6s to hit, do a mortal wound in addition, +1 to attacks, and I can't remember the other one because I was too busy being like 6s to wound no 6s to hit in addition hurts. He's got the Web Spinner Shaman, which is just a 65-point wizard to cast Hoarfrost. He's got 5 Boingrot Bounders, he's got 3 Rockgut Troggos, and then he's running 48 Squig Herds in 2 units of 24. He's got Gringrat's Loon Court, and then he's got the Spider Riders, along with the Marsh Crawler Sloggoth, which I'm pretty sure is a +1 to wound bubble for everything. He's running King's Gits, so he can, I'm pretty sure it's a reroll on the Loon Shrine, just making that Squig Herd come back a bit easier. Yes, yeah, it's given Mortys. Like, it's just gonna, the Squig Boss is just gonna touch one of those Squig Herd unit, which he's not gonna be able to not position it because he's got Scragrot there, which I'm pretty sure knows the whole spell lore, so he's got the teleport spell in his back pocket. Like, he's gonna be able to have all his pieces where he needs them. Like, there's just tech. Those Squig Herd go into you, they're gonna wipe, like they're gonna kill something. There's just so many attacks there that you can't really save it all. You go into them, oh well, Gringrat's gonna make them fight on death. Go on, kill them, see what happens. And then you don't kill the Squig Herd, and then the handlers bring them back. Okay, you wipe the unit. Well, he's got King Git, so he's bringing them back via the shrine. The Rock Guts, they're just going to sit on objective. The Boingrots are going to catch you if you try and run away. He's got Spider Riders as well. Just for funsies.
Spiders.
Like, Andorian Acolytes. So he's just getting free primal dice for existing, unless you roll a 2 or a 1. But, like, Andorian Acolytes is just free money. Like, and then, yeah, his grand strategy chasing the moon. He just has to have his general in the light of the bad moon for like 2 or 3 turns, which with Scragrot there, and it's a dank old Trog Boss, it's gonna be there. Like, it's not gonna be hard to do. It is 12 drop, so priority won't be a thing. He won't get to choose, I don't think. But I don't think he needs to. I think he's got a good solid list here. Yeah. Saying it's gonna go 5-0. Because, you know, we all have that one bad game, I reckon. But I reckon this is definitely 4-1, 5-0 potential. And I just love how much tech it has. It's just, yeah. Any thoughts?
I love the Spider Riders. You know what? Having things fight on death is just a way of getting great value. Does Squiggo do good damage?
Yeah. Well, think if they're doing mortal wounds on 6s to hit as well. He hasn't got any sneaky snuffs, which was a bit, but yeah, with mortal wounds on 6s to hit, they're just weight of dice pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
Hoarfrost.
So fight on death is a good way of getting like value out of anything. Because when something dies and you don't get to do anything with it, like it's a bit sucky, and that's why fight on death snakes was so much fun. So 48 Squig Herd fighting on death, and I'm showing my complete lack of destruction knowledge. They're also the ones that do mortal wounds when they die. Are they not?
No, it's when they retreat. Shot. Yeah,
oh, that's right. Okay, so they're just doing damage in like every phase except shooting.
Thank you, Scott. Like, the Morse Crusher is giving them +1 to hit, which they normally can't get access to because they can't benefit from command abilities.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, because there's no like unit champ or anything, so you can't like even, and also trap a lot of people into it, so you can't like bring them back with like a big rally and stuff like that. So they're just there, and they
they can't receive rally. Okay, yep.
Yeah, because they can't benefit from like command abilities.
But they do have the Squig, the handlers can bring back a couple, and then you
got the handlers, but it's not as like oppressive as people think it is when you're playing into it now as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
it's definitely Yes, like you do have the heroin addict mini in there, the marsh crawler slogger. Like I've seen it, it's like junkie in the street. But it is there for like the 18-inch +1 to hit bubble, so it's quite large, like that area as well, which is quite good, especially for early game as well, before you spread out. And you've got a lot of like really big key pieces in there as well. Grabgod's like auto include if you're running gifts because he's
So
just
good.
so good for what he brings. Acolyte is amazing. I think even when I was playing both Kyle and Josh, I didn't drop one of those rolls once at Sydney GT for 3-up. Like it's so just handy to have if you've got like a really good caster in your list as well. So yeah, so many different parts. Super keen to see how it goes.
It's always you always roll a 3-up until you really need to roll a 3-up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened again.
Or I just never roll a 3-up because I played two games in a row
until Scott tries to use his Pontifex.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm interested to see how it goes.
I love it because it's just Soul Blight but indecisive. So.
Shut up, Carl. Yeah, man, you're off the stream, brother. Get out of here.
Okay.
So actually, King Gits, can he bring back each unit of Squig Herd as a unit of 12?
Yes.
Yeah.
Through the shrine, and I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
if you can either re-roll the roll, or if you roll a 1, you can re-roll
I'm pretty
the
sure
1.
you re-roll the roll.
Yeah, but yeah, it's more recursion, like it's more value. Yeah, I do think it's an interesting pick. Over what's it? Oh, this Squig one, Jaws of Mork. That gives them an extra rend and stuff, but I think it's gonna do well in this list because of Gringrat and the Nasher Squig. I think he's gonna equal out the value of +1 rend, and Hoarfrost exists. So yeah, he's got Hoarfrost on the web spinner. So there's the rend. Yeah. All right, on to the next Grand Alliance. Was Order. Adam, this was you. Any honourable mentions?
Look, there were so many amazing elf lists to choose from, and others from Order.
Yeah, there might be other lists in there, but we don't.
I just want to preface. I think nearly 50% of the lists were Order, and I skimmed through pretty much every one of them, and 99% of them, like, they just were all like really good, and it was so hard to choose some good ones. So I do have a couple of fun mentions. I can't remember which one I put up, Will, so like just hit it away and...
Oh, your fun list.
My fun list
was Rob.
Yeah, there's a couple. So, yeah, this one's just such a super easy fun list. So my good friend Rob, who went also 5-0 at Sydney GT, was just brute spam. Like the guy's on a different level when it comes to AOS. And I know he wants to just have fun with this and not necessarily be hella competitive. But just reading a list like this for like my pea-sized attention spam brain is just beautiful. So you've got literally the Dragon Pedo Ionis in there. You've got Karazai and Krontis, which also count as battle line in this list. And a block of Storm Drake Guard. So you got 2 of them there, and then also a single one as well. So I don't know how this is going to go, but it's definitely one that I will be floating around on tables to see how well it goes. And it's a 1-drop.
Great.
What is not to love? The 1-drop.
It's a 1-drop. It's also 1960 points, so he's probably getting the trial.
Getting it time.
It's too good. You said, yeah.
Imagine round 5, you go and play Rob. Round 5, you're playing Rob, and your opponent's like, fuck, I don't want to look at 30 War Scrolls. What is this person's list? He's like, here you go, man. Just 4 units. There you go. Amazing.
I think, yeah, I asked you to pick 2 order lists, and then, yeah, you sent me Rob. You're like, oh, yeah, Rob's. And I was like, okay, what's his list?
Because it'll be quick.
Oh,
It's
man,
quick.
it was so fun. It's close to Gargant's level. I do like it.
It's the Gargants of Order, and I think that's why I'm like obsessed with it as well.
Josh, I know you just bought
Dragons, yeah! Yeah! I was reading that list you said. I was like, oh, Ionis, that's sick. Oh, Karazai, that's a crony, yeah! I was having a great time. This looks like lots of fun. Man, Karazai is so much fun to play with. You go into a big block of zombies and you're like, oh, everything's dead. And then he dies in return, but like we don't talk about that part. Because no ward. Why have none of these dragons got a ward? It's ridiculous.
Stinky.
Well, in the Draconith Skywing, they have a shake onto the Stormdrake guard.
So it's a worse Praetor's ability.
Yes.
You lose Deep Strike.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
but you don't need it when you can run Karazhan.
But you get Battle Line Karazhan, yeah! Oh, I love dragons. This looks like exactly what I want to run. Like.
Oh.
I've got my shelf of dragons sitting up there.
Any thoughts? Or you're just
I'm painting up the better lizards.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Better
Bob.
lizards.
That's not a dragon.
We now no longer need Kyle because we're out of the death. We can put him back in the cupboard. Back in.
Kyle doesn't have thoughts other than dead.
Actually.
All right. On to your 5-0 pick, Adam.
Yup. So, do you want to bring it up? Okay, so now, before I talk about this list, there's also another person who I think is 5-0, but I just don't understand what the fuck that army does yet, and that's Austin. But he's a Sigma, and I tried to look at it, I was like, cities. No, I don't understand anything. But you know what I do understand? Elves. So
rest in peace, Scott.
Gary,
You're taking 5.
Be scared of Scott.
Gary is easily one of the top 3 players in New South Wales, like performing wise at the moment. And if I was, being able to play because I wasn't too busy running events, I would run Heartwood and I would run Belfanos, and it is a 5-0 list. So we're looking at his list. He's got Belfanos, and he's also not doing the Army of Renown, which is the way to go. I think the Army of Renown is a little bit of a trap for the Sylvaneth stuff because there's just so many tools you can confuse the fuck out of your opponent with and force them to make a mistake, whereas the Army of Renown reduces that. So Belfanos in there for 360. He is perfection as a War Scroll. He's the best War Scroll since this little fellow, the Arkelian King, for points-wise.
Oh, mine's packed away.
He is a mini Marathi in terms of like the amount of damage that he's doing. Oh, my box is put away, so I can just cope with how much painting I have to do. So he's a Marathi in terms of how much damage he can do. He, especially in a regular Sylvaneth list, he can go around and turn every other bit of terrain that's on the board into into a overgrown as well. So gives you more options to teleport, prevents your opponents from screening out. He's a super independent piece as well. Like you don't necessarily need to keep him with your army. So he's great. Look, the only questionable thing in this list, I think, is the Durthu. Like I'm not a fan of Durthu because he can be too swingy. Like he's really good. And he brings like a lot of like smashy stuff, which is what this list is about to the table. But I can't really get into Durthu. The Archrev in there is an auto include for like 120 points. It's a steal. In the combat phase, you essentially just give it a 4-up ward. So it makes it quite hard to kill. You got a Branch Witch in there who's got Spellfinger. So I've done the PTSD of the Ninja. I've forgotten Spellfinger from my brain. Can't remember what else to say. But you've got the Vespral Gem, that's all right, and Verdant Blessing as well, which is good. The best unit in the book, other than Belfanos, is just straight up Drita. Like, Drita is amazing for her points. I think in both my games with Josh and Kyle, like, she came in so clutch at Sydney GT, and she was such like a great independent operative. So when you combo Belfanos teleporting around or going around the board and creating more overgrown, Drita can then pop out of it, do her shooting, and then just like leave as well. Like there's just so much utility in the list. You got 2 lots of 10 Triads, which are kind of an auto include at the moment, I think, because just -1 to hit, -1 to wound is just so great for 100 points, even though they're only 10 wounds. Colonel Hunters with Scythes is great if you want to like really just make sure something dies. With range 3, and yeah, they're great, but I would probably switch them for swords because it is better value at the moment, and there's a lot of zombies and skeletons to chop through in this world. But the Scythes are still such a good pick, and a 6 block of them is going to kill anything that they touch as well. Your sub faction, you got Heartwood there, so you're picking essentially your 3 target units for the game, and you're +1 to hit against them. So you're not CP hungry in this list as well. So this is a 5 and a Spike Swarm Hive, obviously for the +3-inch charge. Anyone that tells you this is not an auto include is a liar. And yeah, this is great. An amazing list, and he's a 5-0 player with a 5-0 list. So I would put my money on this to win it, to be honest.
Yeah, no,
That's my very extensive, in-depth review of an Elf army.
I have to be positive, but why did they give the giant wooden guy a 5-up ward and not the guy in golden armor? Oh, it infuriates me. He's such a good. He's such a good unit.
Yeah, no, I saw this list, and also because I know I've been hearing your opinion about Durthu was very like, oh, Belthanos and Durthu. It is what I wanted to run, but I wanted to run something more along the lines of bugs, because I think retreat and charge with Spite Riders is just great activation game. But I do still really like this list. Yeah, as you said, Drycha is her own piece. She just goes off, does whatever she wants. They can deal with her. They can't. Doesn't matter. Branch Witch with Spell Singer and Tree Song. Well, Spell Singer and Tree Song is just a good combo. If you have a tree that's a bit far out of the way, but it's in combat, like, just Tree Song it. And then that way you can have it a bit of extra Ren there. Yeah,
just in case your army needed Ren 4 or Ren 5. So it's there.
I do also agree with you on the Great Swords at the moment, with Hoarfrost being a thing. Yeah, I just think Great Swords you get a bit more value. Because you're just getting mortal wounds.
It's the mortal wounds, and it's also like a cohesion, and it's also like a volume. It's not even that the size are bad, it's just that in the current meta with basically low savey stuff with a lot of models and a lot of wounds that you need to chew through, Drycha comboed with 6 swords is like insane.
Yeah, I can understand that, Liam. Liam just put in the chat that Durthu is the answer to high armor units because any failed saves is straight 6 damage. Which it's
a big gamble.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's a big gamble.
If they save it, then you've kind of got 350 points. I do like Durthu.
You've also got Belthanos. You've got Belthanos, who's Ren 3. So he's a lot of attacks too. So you've got Belthanos, who's Ren 3, and you can also do Tree Song. So you're making him Ren 4, and his profile is just better than Durthu.
But yeah, I think Gary is a insanely good pilot. I'm not going to begin to understand how he thinks because it's on a different level to me. That's for sure. Just like hearing on his games and stuff like that. Yeah. But no, I think he's going to do really well with this list, and I do kind of expect to see it at the top table. If not table 1, maybe table 2, competing for that 5-0 spot. Other boys, Josh, Carl, any thoughts?
Not much that hasn't been said already. Belthanos, great model. Spirit of Durthu. If nothing else, it is a big hammer that you can threaten your opponent with, and they need to be aware of it. Especially because it has its own teleport. It doesn't have to be with the navigate the spirit parts.
Something spirit.
Some spirit parts. Yeah, sure. Elves. Who knows, man? Spice Swarm Hive, great. It's just a good list, and I'm keen to see how it goes.
Kyle?
I think this list might be like a good, in spite of having like the teleport, and then this list still has the like teleport after you fought.
Yes.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this list might be good without that, and then putting that on top of this list will be scary, having like at least a threat in your face each turn. And then I think Sylvaneth is getting more killy and like even tankier. And I think that's like that coupled with its movement abilities, that coupled with the the fact that like dryads exist for the -1 to hit, -1 to wound, like screen that can also cap objectives really well. I think it's really interesting how someone would tackle going up against this list. And I think, yeah, it's definitely a 5-0 list. It's looking to be chalking up to be.
Yeah, as you're saying that, how to deal with it. How do you deal with a Belthanos that's going to be in your face, a Spirit of Durthu that can also be in your face, a Jiracha that could also just be sitting back plinking, and then 6 Kurnoth with scythes, and then if one of them hits you, or 2 of them hit you, one of them pieces out. Like,
I just play Soulblight. That's what I do to go up against this.
That's your answer to every argument. What if I just played Soulblight against it?
You having trouble with Soulblight?
just play Soulblight against it. What do you mean? Yeah, I think that just about wraps it up. Any recap thoughts? I think for one thing, at least of us loaded dice boys, it is myself and Scott who's going down. I'm taking.
I'm so keen to see how Scott goes.
Yeah,
yeah. I'm so keen to see how he goes.
Scott's list is five steam tanks, well 4 steam tanks and a steam tank commander, which yeah. I also think that has a very 4-1 potential.
Yeah.
I love you, Scott. Not to put pressure on you, but yeah, that list is eek.
2 up saves on those steam tanks, double shots. Oh, garbage.
Alchemite
Shooting your shooting
Warforger,
phase.
+1 to save, like yeah. Shooting in your shooting phase, yeah. And then
just don't shoot at them, Lamau.
And then I'm taking 6 sharks and a Thrall Blender, and then an Eidolon of the Storm, because Adam wouldn't shut up about how good it is.
The
And
Storm
yeah,
is so good.
Yeah.
It has to be good.
In a trial game against Scott's list, the Storm soaked up 4 steam tanks, 4 or 5 steam tanks worth of shooting, and only just got killed. Oh, it was the best.
I can one up you. I played with the Storm last weekend, and I just put him at the front. He took a load of shooting from Sylvaneth and also like strike and fadey stuff out. He was left on 1 wound at the top of turn 1. He ended the game on full health.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
Yeah,
I like
have...
Will's story better when the elf died.
I really like that time Arcane died.
Not at this event. Not at my event.
Adam's just like, long as elves win, that's all he cares about.
As long as elves win. No, I don't think an elf army has ever won one of my events.
Yeah.
I came close to doing it at one of my own. But
Alright, next event, I'll slip you 20 and just rule in my favor every time.
I'll make sure you have favorable matchups.
Yeah, make him go to me.
Dude's in 4-1, he's playing like the lower
first.
Yeah, no, I know, I'm excited. It was originally just going to be me, and then I twisted Scott's leg, and then you guys allowed the city's ruling, and that was pretty much the final thing that got Scott in. So yeah, I'm keen to go roll some dice.
Yeah, should be an awesome time. I've got like $5,000 worth of prizes to give away. Pretty much all through Lucky Door. Basically, first, second, third, you get your little trophy, and that's it. And it's just Lucky Door and being a good sport or being a good painter. So it's going to be definitely good vibes. Liam, I'm not playing as a buybuster for round 1 or 2 because I'm going to go watch the cow off. I'm going to go watch Damien versus Keith, and then watch Keith flip the table regardless of the result. I'm very keen.
But does that mean Liam has to play your buybuster list?
No. It's not, look, who knows? Might not need a buybuster.
Actually, yeah, that's true, yeah.
Do you want the win?
Can we actually...
I can't play buybuster.
Can we actually low-key shout out that cows list? It looks so, like, the update... List. Holy shit. Like,
that was my other cool list.
I didn't see it. What is this list?
Well, it's not just the list. It's the new they updated the rules in the last
the rend.
The changing rend like ignoring rend 1 and 2 to minusing rend 1 and 2.
Yeah.
That's like Sylvaneth will get like 1 or 2 rend against them. Like that's crazy.
And that's why, like, instead of having the rend go straight through a lot of times, now, especially with Aether Quartz, Mystic Shield, all out defense, you're able to just be like, hi, I'm on a 2-up save, suck my dick.
Finest
See you later.
power on
Like,
a hero as well.
Ignoring rend.
Yeah.
Rend food 7.
My answer to cows was just to throw something rend 3 in their direction and be like, nice sub-faction you got there. But now, I'm just like, I'll throw rend 3 at them, and then they're just like, nice rend you got there, bucko. If Keith wants to grudge at some point in time, I might be like, no, but no. Shout out to Keith. I'll just be bringing 20 Black Knights at minimum.
30, yeah.
30, maybe 40.
Maybe.
Might squeeze in
All
45.
black eyes.
I don't think you could have 40 Black Knights.
Well,
they're
you can make them battle line, and you can just run a whole heap. I don't know how many you could have, but
Oh yeah, you probably could. Actually, yeah, thinking about, I was thinking like, no, you can only reinforce them this many times. Like, you could just run
can.
MSQ.
MSU.
Black Knights.
That was me with my Thralls and Reaver list, where I was like, why can't I reinforce 5 times
Yeah.
in an army?
Why not? It should be able to. It used to be able
Why
to.
can't I have a unit of 100 skeletons?
I miss Horde discounts. You guys remember Horde discounts?
Yeah, Horde
That was
discounts.
hilarious.
That was it. That was the shit.
What was it?
Horde discounts.
Skaven Clan Rats. The last like 10 or something was like 20 points or something ridiculous like that. I miss Horde discounts. That shit was funny.
I wish I was there with Horde discounts, but I also wish
We
I
were
had
there
the
with Horde
skeletons.
discounts.
Yeah.
You didn't need a Horde
Yeah.
You don't
We
need a
were.
Horde discount, Kyle. You were playing zombies.
Yeah.
You need a Horde increase. Once it gets over
Nah.
20 models,
Nah.
up 20 points.
You think his zombies are scary? Just shoot his corpse cart. What's he gonna do?
Don't do it.
Will did one thing once and he's like, yeah, I'm the best. Yeah.
I got him.
Imagine playing Soul Blood, I could never.
Because he crumpled his... Actually, no, the killing the
You
corpse
killed his
cart.
corpse cart and he quit.
No,
I was just like,
He's like, I'm gonna lose this guy.
No, I killed the corpse cart and it left a perfect king-shaped hole.
Yeah. I was just like, this is the perfect thing to protect my most vital pieces. I'll put this 6 wound on a 6-up save, 6-up ward thing right here. It can't heal. It can't be. It can be shot super easily. Don't even worry about it. Corpse cart though, swingiest fucking model ever. If you're going up against a shooting army,
Here we are.
it is immediately dead. If you're going up against a combat army, you stick it in the middle of the zombies, they ain't touching the corpse cart.
How did we let him get back onto Soul Blood?
More Soulblight. No. What is this other Soulblight thing that I can talk about? Graveguard. That's pretty.
Alright, any final shout outs, Adam? Anything you'd like to announce other than you drop the prize pool and what the prizes are?
Yeah.
Looks
Looks
amazing.
so cheesy, but shout out to everyone who got a ticket and is coming along. So big love to all of you guys, because we can't have successful or like great events in New South Wales or Australia in general if people actually don't come along to them. So shout out to them, and shout out to the people who are traveling really far to also come along. So you guys are great.
That is, we are travelling fast, Scott. Yippee,
Yeah.
tomorrow road trip.
Yeah, Will just call himself out. I would also like to thank myself for traveling far.
I'm excited. I get to go pick up Chaos Knights tomorrow. I pick up 40k.
What time are you leaving?
I think we're leaving about 10 or 11. And then, heading
Oh
down.
no! So you can get sausage rolls.
Yeah. Oh
No.
man, we need to sponsor that. Okay, this is on the live stream, but we're gonna create a
Oh, this-
separate sponsor. Anybody that comes up to Port Macquarie or is going past Nabiac, artisan farmer. Oh,
Yeah, shout out.
oh, it makes that look. If they could sponsor us, like I know this is about your tournament, Adam, but
Sponsored
like,
by Wayne Farm.
They can sponsor my tournament, right?
Mm.
yeah, sponsor us.
Unless you
Down a
Give us
sausage roll
unless-
in the box.
No,
Unless
best
you're
best,
Scott, though.
rolls, man.
best
So good.
sausage roll. Best sausage roll.
But not Scott can't have it anymore. He's
Yeah.
banned.
No more for Scott. He put sauce on it.
He put
Yeah, that's
sauce
right.
on it.
No, for you, Scott. But Scott, we have to stop pass because I want one. So yeah.
And you have to sit in the car and cry.
Anyway, and,
Look
I'm
at
excited.
him.
I think as I said,
Libzed.
as for like us loaded dice boys, Scott and I will be there. If you liked the stream, come say hey. We're pretty socially awkward social boys. And then shout out Liam and Adam for getting this whole thing together. It's the final big tournament in New South Wales, I think.
Last one for the year before CanCon. So get your practicing, people.
And
Because
then
you don't want to drive all the way to Canberra and do shit.
I don't know. I've done it 3 years in a row. I'm doing pretty good.
yeah, I think I've what 2 1.
I don't know if
2,
I've
3,
gone
2,
positive
3,
yet.
yeah.
I actually just remembered that CanCon is the only time that I've gone not positive. So I went.
Thanks for that insight, Kyle.
I went 2 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses.
Back in the cupboard now.
So I need to really practice because CanCon it rocked me last year.
Yeah, back in the cupboard. All right. Anyway, that's it. I think that's it for now. I think we'll wrap up the live stream. Set our recaps. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming and listening to us ramble about lists that we kind of know a little bit about. I think Adam, you were pretty knowledgeable, except you didn't give me a
Look,
shout.
I know my elves and orcs as well.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Thanks for that clutch. But yeah,
I got cool boys there.
yeah. Thanks so much for coming out, guys, and we'll see you either at Blood Rites or in our next video.